British weapons including anti-tank missiles have arrived in Ukraine after the cargo plane was blocked from flying over German airspace. To teach their counterparts how to combat Russian tanks. Footage shows the consignment being transported from a plane at a Ukraine airport, in a bid to counter the imminent threat of a Russian invasion, with 100,000 of their troops stationed on the border. Germany has refused to provide Ukraine with weapons, with Chancellor Olaf Scholz blocking Britain from flying over their airspace to deliver the cargo through fear of angering Vladimir Putin. Scholz, who took the job from Angela Merkel last month, has tried to maintain his predecessor's warm relations with Moscow by refusing to supply Kiev with arms and ruling out sanctions on the Nord Stream 2 gas line if an attack goes ahead. He insisted on Monday that Germany has a long-standing policy of not exporting weapons even for defensive purposes, and does not intend to change it. The same day, Scholz also dodged a question from the reporter over whether the Nord Stream 2 pipeline could be targeted for sanctions if Russia attacks. In eastern Ukraine, the region most likely to see conflict between British trained troops and Russian soldiers, the weapon could destroy advancing tanks and combat vehicles, helicopters and aircraft flying at low altitude. UK defence chiefs fear Putin will opt for the nightmare scenario of a full invasion of Ukraine as tensions rise towards tipping point. The White House warned yesterday the situation was extremely dangerous and that Moscow could launch an attack at any point. It had been thought Putin would choose the simple option of sending troops into the Donbas region in southeastern Ukraine and then negotiate for it to become an independent state, providing a buffer between pro-Western Ukraine and Russia. As the region is already occupied by pro-Russian separatists, and has been in a state of war since 2014, it was believed it would offer little resistance. But the latest intelligence now has Ministry of Defense chiefs worried about a much larger incursion, raising fears of warfare engulfing cities and high civilian death tolls. They believe Mr. Putin's troops are being positioned in line with his new objective, with armored divisions set to head into neighboring Belarus on exercise but now stationed within striking distance of Kiev. Last night a senior defense source said, "We strongly believe Putin's preference is for a full invasion rather than a limited offensive. In a sense he might as well go for as much of Ukraine as he can get hold of because the penalties are just the same." Also, if he just occupies the eastern regions he will never be able to take back the whole of Ukraine because of the inevitable strengthening of Ukrainian forces in the remainder of the country in the aftermath. It is the nightmare scenario. Putin is aware that as Ukraine does not belong to NATO, there will be no military response by Western states. Similarly, the economic sanctions threatened by the US and the UK apply regardless of the scale of such action. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will meet Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Wednesday before holding talks with his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov in Geneva on Friday in the latest attempt to defuse the crisis.